welcome to going insane. What temperature, Maine? I'm outside in a park. Wanted to do a quick reading. How y'all doing? Okay, so I woke up while having a dream. Okay, and the person in this dream, okay, just to get a little personal, was somebody I was very close to. Had a baby with him, my first child, who we placed me, my family, him and his family, well, respectively. Me and my dad went through it, and him and his family, and we placed her for adoption. This is a long time ago, okay? And I was adopted. I loved him, but we were a hot mess, okay? He ended up committing suicide, and I worked really, really, really hard at forgiving him. I believe I was placed in the path of other people that needed to forgive him because he was very popular, very magnetic kind of guy in his youth. Obviously, he did things or became someone he didn't appreciate because he hung himself. And on Christmas Eve, and a little while after, a couple years after, a year and a half or so after our baby was born and placed. But I worked really hard at forgiving him because I had to. And it took years. And I revisited that ghost at that spot. And the first place I ever met him is where I ever saw him was where he did the dastardly deed. In this dream, he was smiling and happy. I used to dream about him a lot when we were in our hot mess nest. And I would be able to tell and feel when he was coming, or coming back, rather. He'd get closer and closer and closer, and then he'd call. And I'd be like, I knew you were going to call tonight. This dream was very interesting. I'm not going to get into the details because, well, they're still a little shocking to me. But that's okay. It's just personal. And, but he was smiling. He was joking like he did when he was young. And, he looked great. And I didn't feel uneasy around him at all. But anyway, so as I progressed through the morning, I was listening to a reading, and forgiveness and Mercury retrograde came up in one. And Mercury retrograde is about revisiting, and you can do your own research on that and see what jumps out for you. But it's about people coming back from the past, and just dealing with that, right? So part of the point of the biggest point I'm getting to is that forgiveness is it's a core necessity in this now. I mean, it always has been. It's just people couldn't figure out how to forgive people that they felt they were a victim of. Okay, well, I was molested as a child. I forgave that dude, that mofo, because it only hurt me to be that angry. I forgave everybody involved because it only hurt me to be that upset and traumatized and bitter, angry, resentful, yada yada yada. I worked really hard at forgiveness in my earlier years, because when I was about to have my second child, my oldest daughter, okay, my daughter, my oldest child, once you give something away, it's not yours. And so my child, I knew that I had to come into forgiveness of the people who were involved in this drama for my youth, because I didn't want my child to be affected by my hot mess. Okay. So anyway, the forgiveness really needs to come in its own time. You can't force it, but it is worth focusing on and doing the inner work, because if you can't forgive the injured person inside the person that did it to you, you're not there yet. If you're just going to be bitter, hold resentment, and um, carry on like you're a victim, then you're missing the point. And go to the beginning of my playlist and work your way through. Just do the ones on forgiveness. There's a couple, or 2 or 3, but it's worth doing the work so that you can come into the 0.0 point. And that's one of the soul self-help ascension assistance. That's the best that I can give you, is the forgiveness factor. Y'all take it up with your higher selves, your higher power, and if you think of circumstances and situations and you're still bitter, angry, and resentful, the only thing and the only one that it's affecting is you, because those people are dead, unaffected, out of your life, or still hurting you, and they're getting the um, rush of still being able to hurt you. I refuse to give that to anybody. No one has the power to hurt me. You shall not pass. You shall not pass. Okay, so let's invite Gang Gang. I see Metatron. Michael Angel's here. Michael Angel's always here, so I keep forgetting to mention him, but he's always here. Hi, Michael. Okay, Magdalene. Yes. Sananda. Yeshua. Shekina. Okay, John. Magdalene. I said Magdalene. What do you call you here, babe? Alright. Alright, so your Gang Gang on this very quick message today, but I say quick. It's their message. I don't know how long it's going to take. What is it you'd like for us to carry forward on this message of forgiveness as we move forward into the next, the new next, the next now, individually and or globally aspected? Make it clear, precise, concise, and articulate. It's always nice. Okay, Capricorns, they say. Okay. The other person I remember in this video, or in my dream, it's very strange for me to remember my dreams. I've mentioned before. The very dynamic female, also a Sagittarius, who who she's referred to me as another aspect of herself, and we clicked like that the first time we encountered each other, and we've only encountered each other a couple of times, but she remotely healed me not too long ago from a very painful mishap, and knew before anyone mentioned that I was injured, and just sent me healing. And lo and behold, people, it works. It's energy. I couldn't work on myself. I was in the midst of great pain, and I knew that once the word got to my peeps, to my tribe, that there would be people sending me healing and energetic healing. And these energetic healers are very powerful people. And I'm so honored to know them and work with them and call them my soul tribe. I'm not going to say names because there's no need to drop names. Half of the healing is believing that it will work. The other half is the other souls understanding that it's just energy, and we're all connected, and believing that they can, that is something they are capable of achieving because of believing. Okay, so this is me sharing how I know Ascension is happening. Earth is real. Energy is all that matters. Get it? Matter, energy. Okay. Okay, gang. What? This. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. That dude, it was one of them pedivores. Isn't that a bummer? Mr. Rogers? Oh, yeah. Any influencer on television, especially the ones that had to do with children. That's a discussion for another day. Okay, angels, you ready? The others? Okay, cool. These people probably think, what is she doing? Okay, here we are, 2021. First breath, beginner's mind. I love these cards. Look at. First breath, a fresh start and renewed curiosity, natural trust, beginner's mind. When the first breath card shows up for you, it is time to leave the old stories and tales behind you. Wow. As I just got through regaling a tale of one of the most traumatic experiences in my life, it's time to let it go. It's time to make sure that I'm not holding resentment against him or anybody else. Anybody, any soul. If I can forgive him, I can forgive anybody. Trust me. When the first breath card shows up for you, it's time to leave the old stories and tales behind. You have arrived. Take a deep breath and another. Okay. There's nothing else you need to do but take in the new world that is revealing itself to you. Woohoo. Amen. Trust your natural curiosity. There is no need to dwell on how difficult the journey has been or how tight the passage to get to where you are now. Just take it all in and experience the awe and wonder of your arrival at this destination. Even if it's a familiar place you have come to many times before, Try to experience it as if for the first time, for you are renewed, and the old you is no longer your concern. Amen. After working really hard at forgiving all the people that put me into a victim stance, I don't have to deal with it. I don't deal with it. I don't have to address it all the time, every time it pops up, because I've dealt with it. Feel, deal, heal. Okay? Practice the beginner's mind, not labeling or naming what you see and experience. That situation was so difficult only a few days ago. That situation that was so difficult only a few days ago, just be with it and breathe. You have already gone beyond it, have overcome and resolved it, even if no one else realizes this yet. Do not squander the power of first breath, giving the old narrative mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Use it for new beginnings, to animate a world you can play and create in. Do not underestimate the power of your breath and the magic of the word. When we're speaking, we're spelling. When we write, we're spelling. We're putting that energy out. And depending on how focused, intense, or intentional our energy is focused on what we're spelling, that's how effective it is. Dark magic does exist, but as we ascend and as I ascend, it doesn't touch me because my vibration is too high. They can keep trying, but I'm a highly protected being of light, and it bounces off me. I don't even know it's happening. I'm divinely protected, and so are you. You just have to invite them in to do it, because the divine realm is they're ladies and gentlemen. They must be invited. They're not going to invade and protect you if you don't want them to. If you think you're a 3D Billy badass and you don't need to invite the higher realms to help you, they won't assert themselves to do it, even if you are a divine being of light here for a purpose. Part of your purpose then is to learn you need to ask for help or how to handle it yourself without adding karma to your cachet. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Do not squander the power of first breath, giving the old narrative mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Do not squander the power of first breath, giving the old narrative mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. You don't need to bring it back to life. Put it to sleep. Feel, deal, heal. Give it its due respect. Honor that it hurt. Respect that your ego is trying to defend you because it's there. It's your gatekeeper to protect you from the injuries we've acquired through this lifespan. And thank your ego for trying to protect you, but that you don't need, that you're just going to deal with it and you don't have to revisit it again. Stupid. Do not underestimate the power of your first breath and the magic of the word. Boy, those two rock pretty fast for old folks. 27, that's a 9. That's still this month. So we have 921. Heart, home, compassion. Okay. Heart, home, love in its truest form, compassion. When you begin to feel like you do not belong anywhere, it's time to make your way back to your heart home. This is your true home. You are being called back to the quiet place where your soul resides. Put everything on hold for a short while. You are being offered the experience of love in its purest form. Unconditional, unbounded. This is not the love you must work hard to earn or barter for. Not conditional. It's not a con. It's unconditional. Okay? Previous videos, all right? Or playlist, playlist, whatever, wherever it shows up. This is not the love you must work hard to earn or barter for. Drop into your heart space and rest there for a breath or two. Replace the judgment of yourself and others with compassion. Really, it is that easy when heart home shows up. There's no need to forgive anyone for anything. None of it occurred in spiritual truth. That's the bottom line. Let that sink in. I mean, just expand your mind a little. Relax. There's no need to forgive anyone for anything. None of it occurred in spiritual truth. It is only your belief in that story that makes it so powerful. That's what I was just saying in the beginning. Allow your love to wash clean all those impressions. Empty yourself of all judgment and preconceptions, and allow Spirit to fill you with the sweet nectar of peace. Indeed. When Heart Home shows up, it is important that you heed its call, lest the universe orchestrate a way to bring you back to yourself that is of a harsher nature. Ooh wee, ooh wee. Gang, gang. And just let it go. Let it go. So, um, on a global citizen um, perspective, it's the same. We're going to have to not feel the need for revenge, to not feel the need of recompense. Okay, we need to figure out and forgive ourselves for letting it happen. Forgive the souls that were doing it to us. They were just doing what's in their nature. We don't have to allow it anymore. Okay, but we need to let the higher realms that are in charge of the judgment, or in charge of the end results of, and let it go, so that we can move on as global citizens in a healthy manner. And we need to help those that are going to be served at pterodactyl sized crow. We're going to have to help them start consuming it in a healthy and balanced way. That's why we're seeing it first. That's why we were presented it first. That's why we've been getting it in bite-sized, morsels, so that we can start digesting what is the truth of the underlying problem that we allowed to happen by compliance. Okay, so we can't shrug or the responsibility off or point at other souls or entities that were trying to do us harm. We allowed it. That's why unconditional forgiveness of self and love of self is so important. Okay, because we just need to pull up our bootstraps, self up by our bootstraps, and start walking away from where we've been with protection on our feet. Okay, not around our hearts, not around our psyche, not by letting our ego run amok in retaliation and its own sense of justice, because it doesn't know what justice is. It doesn't truly know, because it's been fed a bunch of hooey for all these programmable years or lifetimes. Key concepts: forgiveness, healing, resentments, shedding the role of the eternal martyr, yes, letting go of victimhood, cutting the ties that bind you to a destructive story. Boy, they're good at this, are they not? Releasing pain so that you can move into the lesson it offers, relinquishing the need to be right. There are times in life when you must forgive, lest you become a hostage to your anger. It's just what I was saying in the beginning. Frustration, disappointments, and resentments. Yes. This is not about condoning bad behavior or minimizing a hurt done to you. Forgiveness is simply a commitment to stop telling an old story so you don't carry its burden anymore. If you don't forgive, old hurts fester and become distorted, causing you pain over and over again. Don't resuscitate that bitch. Let it die. Let it lie. Whatever. Yes, yes. You become trapped in a prison of your own making, tied to the story that you were a victim. It's time to cut the invisible cords attaching you to the situation and preventing you from moving forward. The truth is, you are victimizing yourself every time you recreate the unresolved hurt in your mind or speak of it with friends. Rather than allow this folly to repeat, surrender the situation to the higher power. Now is the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms, drama. And forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. You allowed it. I mean, once we're of the age of 12 or whatever, 13, 17, whatever, and we understand that, yes, of course, we were victimized, but that our choices as an adult still matter. As adults, we can't make decisions. My phone's ringing. We can't make adult decisions based on childhood occurrences because that's from a child's POV, right? We have to then take that child, embrace its pain, recognize it, feel, deal, heal, acknowledge it, appreciate the ego for why it was trying to protect your child, your inner child, but take back the accountability and culpability for our soul journey. Otherwise, we become the victimizers. And nobody wants that. Because we're light beings, okay? Divine light beings and stuff. We have superpowers to really hurt people. Like, really extremely powerfully. And that would be breaking our contract. And yeah, that can go, you can go to spiritual jail for that. So don't tell them I told you. But just let that sink in. Now is the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms and forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. Consider the ancient Hawaiian practice known as Ho'oponopono. The simple prayer is a beautiful way to begin the process of forgiveness. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It's based on the idea that we are all responsible for the reality we see in the world. If something is awry, whether it's your perception, your emotional reactions, your judgment, and so forth, it is up to you to clean it up. Forgiveness is the key to a liberated and meaningful life, no matter what method you choose. Just do it. Opening to discovery. Opening to discovery. Key concepts. The small bits of data you collect from the world to form ideas, the transfer of vital information via the universe, always speaking to you, the need to integrate information and be discerning about what you expose yourself to. We tune in to information from our outer environment, then assign meaning to it within our psyches. Every day, however, the amount of data we sort through exceeds what we're capable of processing. Especially since the advent of the internet, we have been bombarded with more than we could ever hope to absorb. Therefore, it's important to be mindful of what we expose ourselves to. Consistent exposure to unhealthy messages invites us into a cynical, fear-based worldview. On the other hand, conscious exposure to information supporting our well-being shifts us towards growth and expansion. The choice, though, is not always obviously ours, which is why we must be discerning on a daily basis. The universe is always engaging us. We are part of it after all. Through synchronicity, omens, and other signs that point towards our best path. Our intuition helps us tune in and see our environment like an oracle. However, this new information doesn't always make sense right away, so being curious and non-resistant is key to learning. Today, be open to receiving important information that may come from an unusual source. This is, whenever you're watching, that's your now, okay? That's your today. The universe wants to help you, but recognizing the way this aid will arrive depends on your willingness to shut out superfluous noise. Maybe you need to take a break from social media, gossip, or the news. Don't let yourself get distracted. Listen without attachment and see what arises in your life. Expect a message from the universe, and you shall have it. And there you have it. Perspective. Archangel Samuel. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. I'm not going to read the book today. 9 of Michael Badass. There's our owl. Where's your blue sword, Michael? No worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Yes, yes. Michael, I knew Michael Angel was showing up today. Michael Angel. There he is. Badass. Where's your sword? I want everybody to see your beautiful blue sword. We just had this one the other day. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. Oh my goodness. And decision. Archangel Jophiel. Wow. Decision. Wow. Okay. Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. Ooh-wee. Okay, folks. There we have it. Enjoy your day. Namaste. I love you. You love you. Okay? Peace and out.